Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another session of the Fortinet podcast. I'm your host, Chris Dorn, and today we have Isrrael Quintero, our co-host and extraordinaire with all things Fortinet, joining us, and Jacob Overton, our Wi-Fi specialist, is on the line with us today too. So welcome, guys. How's it going today?
Howdy.
You flatter me.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Yes, so season 2, episode 16 here. So we're trekking right along, knocking these things out.
While, man.
Talking about, yeah, it's been a couple weeks, hasn't it, for sure. We've had a lot going on though, haven't we?
Definitely. That's one of the biggest thing that we're trying to educate ourselves and educate our listeners and trying to get ramped up. And we get so busy that, man, we got to talk to the listeners and educate them too. So yeah,
share what we're figuring out and learning as we move along as well. So things are always changing and getting bigger, better, scarier. A lot of stuff happening in the security world, and that kind of plays right into the networking and the podcast session that we have here. So that's some talking points we want to cover today. So we want to chat a little bit about the mid-year get-together that we had here at XenTegra. Look at some of the new Fortinet products, a couple new firewalls just released, as well as some of the new ADCs. And then we'll chat a little bit about the Exchange conference, the CRN Exchange conference that Isrrael and I attended out in Frisco, so just west of Dallas last week. So some cool stuff that we were able to be a part of. Took a lot of good things away from these events. Well, let's start off with the mid-year get together. That was pretty cool. We had a lot of folks from XenTegra come from out of town to our main office just north of Charlotte in Huntersville, North Carolina, and had a couple of days of just sharing what we do individually in our areas of the company. But then had AWS and WorkSpot join us to share some of their information and train some of the teams up a little bit. But we had a nice hour session with the sales team, and then we had Fortinet come in and present to the technical side of the house, which I think opened up some folks' eyes on the product portfolio that they present and where some of those pieces kind of come together to help secure and enable our customers. So, yeah. And then we also got upstairs and started racking our own Fortinet equipment. So not too much
getting ready for our new office.
Yeah. So we moved offices, same building, just upstairs, something a little more collectively put together. And I had, the funny thing is I had lunch with one of our partners yesterday, and they went through the same exact thing like 6 months ago. They were like, we had little offices all over the building, and we got to move into the centralized one that kind of brought us all together. I'm like, oh, really? That's exactly what we're doing as well.
Yeah, the layout of your office building is really cool.
You seen it?
I came with Dave one time to visit you.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, at that time we were still kind of all over that first floor, Jacob. So kind of centralized, and we moved upstairs to the second floor, and I think we have I'd say it's probably about 70% of the upstairs there. But that keeps everybody's offices kind of internal facing. So then we have a common area where we have some hoteling, and
not too spread out.
Not too spread out. And folks that are there on a more frequent basis have their own areas.
Well, now that the company is growing and a lot more and starting to come back to the offices, right? So it makes sense to make sure we got a bigger areas for people to come in. And if they want to work from the office, they can have those cubicles there. It's pretty nice. I really like that background light up that they built for us. That was pretty nice.
Yep. And as you kind of saw, we definitely have room to host events, training days, sessions, things of that nature. So every now and then as some of the scheduled events kind of come together, there's a strong possibility that our listeners and customers would be able to join us up there. So right off the interstate I-77, so pretty easily accessible.
Kind of like if Target is next to each other, it's almost right there.
No, Isrrael likes the shopping aspect.
Well, I do want to mention in our mid-year, like you mentioned, Fortinet Day came out, and I definitely want to give a shout out to Rebecca Bro and Will Charlin for helping out and doing some presentations and just putting some face to the voice. So it was really appreciate that. Guys, if you guys are listening, I really appreciate all your support, what you guys doing for XenTegra and myself. So thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely can't do it without them. That's for
And
sure.
of course, to our vendors that is out there that they came out and supporting us. But a big shout out to the Fortinet. As you know, one thing I started to find out, I'm gonna call myself the Forti guy now. I don't know if I should. The Forti guy.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, I know, right?
I have to get you your own YouTube channel.
Oh no.
So you'd be like Mike.
No. But it was great seeing everybody. It was great seeing you again in person, Chris. But it was a blast. We learned quite a bit of things, especially our company, how we're preparing to protect our clients and grow. And it was just great. Just great. Loved it.
It was great. Thanks for being here. I know that takes you away from home for a couple days, but I think it was very much worth it. That's
Definitely.
2 weeks in a row. So we could roll into the next topic here, the Exchange conference that we attended. So the week before this, I was out in Frisco with Isrrael and Frisco, Texas. So I flew in, he drove on up from Austin, and they put together and this is the CRN, the channel company, put together the Exchange conference, and this one was pretty security focused, but I think they did an excellent job. So I very highly recommend it. Yeah,
that is a great conference. If you guys never gone to, it was very well made. They break into groups, making sure that especially like me and Chris were going together, right? They make sure they separated us, making sure that we network with other people and vendors. I mean, it was just fantastic, well made, well prepared, beautiful place.
So shout out to a couple of the vendors. You know, I think probably the coolest thing that I learned and got to see a demo of and talk to the founder of the company was that Sekion, SECEON.com. And that had an AI SIEM that they have a AI XDR and AI MSSP kind of on top of that. And I was really impressed with how that technology stack that they had put together kind of simplified the whole capabilities and really kind of brought it down to where they stated that one analyst could support up to 100 customers from the security aspect of monitoring and taking action on some of the alerts. I thought that was a pretty cool product.
Don't worry, Fortinet. The FortiADC is still there. We still love it.
Yeah.
But it was just a very incredible product that we liked it. It was beautiful. We're probably going to learn a little bit more of it. So, but in that token, we still have to put an EDR with us.
Oh yeah,
so
sure.
If anybody wants to have some questions with that, please still reach out to us. But it was a great tool. But big shout out to them and some other vendors out there. I met with the founder of Line Guard. That was pretty nice talking to him. He was pretty good. And thank you for, if you guys are listening, thank you for giving me that big Yeti cup.
Yeah, you did. You got that wasn't a cup. That was one of the big cooler thermoses.
Yeah.
And
I think one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Another one that I actually won was Exclusive Networks. Yeah, I won a Amazon Echo that.
Yeah, you sure did. And Eddie Crocker and Old Head Holt, you know, they were out there from Fortinet representing. They had a nice booth set up. Got to chat with them and hang out for a little bit and kind of share the Forti love. And then one of the coolest things, though, which it doesn't have any real relation to Fortinet, but it could play into the story, was that new company called Token. So they whipped up some rings. These are actual, like, picture like a wedding ring that reads your fingerprint and then has your credentials stored on the ring. So it enables you to like tap in like an Imprivata style into your into your security technologies that are enabled.
It's great because a lot of clients out there don't want their employees to download a app to do the two-factor authentication, or they don't want them to get text messages. And so the other options is like an RC token thing, or an actual card-looking thing to authenticate. So that actually eliminates, because they can actually have this ring on them.
Yep.
So they cannot really lose it, but it's very, very unique. I really did fall in love with that thing. So
yeah, I can't wait to play with it.
To get here.
Yeah, we're getting we each getting 2. I can't wait to try it out on the airplanes, because every single time I get on an airplane, I'm prompted for a text message to authenticate in. I'm like, sometimes I can shift over the Wi-Fi and get the code through, but a lot of times it acts up. So it'll be nice to try that out while it's on my
So
finger.
I really wanted one, because they still haven't tested it with the FortiGate. So I'll be their little test bunny that I want to test that.
Yep, that'll be neat.
Be nice.
Need to check that out. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. So that kind of plays into like some of the security authentication. We were going to look at a couple of the new firewalls that Fortinet has released recently, huh?
Well, I do want to go back to the conference, because one of the things, guys, that I did learn was, and I didn't know this, that a lot of clients out there are looking for new MSPs.
Oh yeah, that's true.
6% of them, and it's crazy. Like, wow. And I talked to a lot of them, and some of the MSPs there, and they were like, yeah, a lot of them don't like how the lack of communication, the lack of knowledge of other products, and I mean, that is kind of sad. And like, we're over here in XenTegra, we take our clients seriously, and even though there's some things that they might not like, we still have to tell them, right? Like, for example, with that vulnerability that just came out, not with Fortinet, but with NetScaler, but we told our clients, just make sure, hey, this is going on, but we maintain that communication with them. So that's one of the things that XenTegra does very well, is having that communication, having that continuation of training, knowledge, and actually still continue to pursue new product lines and making sure that we're up to date with the new technology. As you guys can know, technology goes like every 6 months, something new is in there.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of crazy to think. So, I mean, we were in different rooms, so we interacted with different groups of folks for the couple of days that we were there, as they had like boardroom settings where about 12 of our peers were grouped together. And then the vendors would come through and kind of chat with us and show some of their stuff off. And it's kind of crazy to think like half of the folks that were sitting around, 5 to 6 of those folks that were at those tables with you alone have active customers shopping alternatives to their solutions that they provided. So that's a pretty big issue, I guess the retention capabilities, they got to put a lot more effort into it, and maybe they're not realizing that that's what they're on deck there.
Yeah, it's a thing that we definitely want to make sure that our customers are happy, and we're giving them, and we're doing everything that we can for them. So if you guys are new to us, listen to us, please reach out, add us in LinkedIn, and we'll definitely have a conversation with you. We can, our CEO, CFO, our CTO, anybody in higher durations, they can, at higher positions, can definitely talk to you guys. So yeah.
You got it.
Now my favorite subject. Dun dun dun. The new product lines.
Oh yeah, 2 new firewalls up here on deck, huh? A 900G, a G series.
Yeah,
Is
I'm
this the first
excited.
G?
This is the first line of FortiGates that is a G series, and it's the 900G. So
Right.
it's a big boy too.
Big boy and a
Yeah.
1U factor there. So we're looking at this 26 gigs per second of IPS, 22 gigs of next gen firewall, and 20 gigs of threat protection. Interfaces SFP 28s, 10s, and gigabit Ethernet as well. So very flexible. Looks like it's got a lot of capabilities as far as interfacing with it physically and then driving that traffic through it.
Yeah, for being a 1U, it's still pretty nice. And guys, if you guys are looking at it, go to Fortinet, Google FortiGate 900G series. Is the 900 and the 901G. So it's nice.
We see that with a vast majority of the FortiGates, and maybe we touch on that a little bit, the difference between like a 900 and a 901. So that one indicates that there's a SSD on board as well.
That's right. It's a lot of people don't understand, like, well, I need a FortiGate, and when we tell you guys which type and will you like an internal storage, that's what it is. It's that one that you will see in a FortiGate, that is the internal storage for caching, for optimization, right? That's one of the beauty things about it.
That starts at the 100 series and up.
No, actually, there's a 41, I believe.
A 41?
Yeah, I think there's a small one that it actually starts off.
Right. So that kind of gives everybody capability of taking advantage of having that onboard SSD for the caching, like you're stating.
Nope, I lied. It starts at 61.
61. Okay, not much bigger, but yeah, okay.
Yep, it's the one above the 40. So the 40 still has a lot of different variants, right? Has that 40 Wi-Fi. It has that 3G, 3G, 4G series. And it has a Forti Wi-Fi 3G, 4G series as well. So anybody who wants that on the go, that's a pretty good solution for a smaller one. But yeah, starting in the 60s, that's where that internal storage comes into play.
Right, and both of these units that we're looking at here, both the 900 series and the 3200 series, they both have the MP7 ASIC chipsets in them as well. So not only do you get the CPU, you have that, you take advantage of the offloading that the ASIC chip offers to help process the security algorithms and offload that from the CPU. And then you also have the content processor. So both of these are enabled with a CP9 chipset as well to act as a co-processors.
Yeah, I mean, that MP7 was typically with way bigger FortiGates, and it's nice seeing it in 1U because it was just at the 1800 level. Now at the 900, it's pretty nice seeing that processor, the ASIC chips, is just getting better and better. And that's where Fortinet really just rockets, and nobody can really compete with them.
Yeah, and for our listeners that don't know, those chips are manufactured in California. So they're onshore, developed and manufactured. So Fortinet never really has a whole lack of shortage on those chipsets. So as we saw through some of the procurement issues that we had last year, the FortiGates they didn't lag very long behind as far as the shipping and getting those to our customers, so they could continue developing.
Yeah, it was one of the
networks.
Yeah, it was one of the vendors that was always on top of it, right? Just making sure that there were able to produce during that type of pandemic. And as other vendors were, what, 12 to 15 months, it's just nuts.
Right. So we're looking at some of the interfaces here still. I was kind of scrolling through the product data sheet, checking it out. We got what, 4 10 gig SFP plus and 8 gigabit Ethernets. No, 16 gigabit Ethernets.
16. Yep. 16 RJ45. Yep. The copper.
And then 8 1 gig SFP slots.
Then a lot of the SFP 10 gig.
Yeah. Or
now remember
25 gig. 25 gig. They got 4 of the SFP 28s on them.
Oh, and then 4. Yep. Now remember together. all those higher ones. What Fortinet does, it actually will do an auto negotiate. So if they connect to a 1 gig fiber and the other line, and you're plugging it in a 25 gig port, it will still auto negotiate. It will still be at 1 gig. So they don't have to feel like, oh, I need more ports.
That's cool.
So that's nice.
Yep. Looks like the 900 comes with dual power supplies as well, kind of right out of the gate there. So that's something you have to look at configuring.
Yeah, anybody who's looking for a dual power supplies, definitely. It starts with the 100 series. So that is very important as well, especially if you're putting this in a data center and you have different power batteries in the sides. So different racks, and that'll be great.
Yeah, definitely. Then on the horizon as well, they had a couple new application delivery controllers that were rolled out. So the FortiADC, which I'm studying right now, trying to get through the exam for that NSE 6 that focuses on the FortiADC. They just dropped 3 new products here. So the 1200F, 2200F, and the 4200F.
So those balancers.
Yep, all those load balancers. So a little bit different how they do it. That what kind of came up through the ranks learning with one of the other load balancers in the industry. But the FortiWAF and the FortiADC, you know, when you combine those two together, you got a really strong access layer to your applications. A lot of security built into that.
Yeah. So one thing that people don't realize that is if you're looking at the FortiADCs in a physical appliance, you will see, in this case, the new releases, you see it as the FortiADC 1200F DC. Why DC? That's actually the power.
Is it?
Yeah, that is the power. So if it doesn't say DC, that means it's AC.
I did not know that. I was thinking data center.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something out there for you guys to look at, right? Making sure that you guys are getting something correct. But it's pretty nice to know that they have that. And I think on the package, it will tell you what should come with it on the power supply.
Build it in here to the name. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. So always innovating, developing new products, releasing them to the market, and then here we are chatting about them.
Yep. And you know this, your actual wheelhouse, knowing on this ADC as you come from Netscaler.
Yes. So the ADCs kind of start at 12 or the 120F. So the smallest line, you know, has layer 4, can do 3 gigs of throughput. So layer 7, 2.2 gigs. So even the smallest one in the portfolio here is pretty capable. Then we get up here to these 1200, the 1200F/DC. We're jumping up to the 40 gig capability of layer 4 throughput and 30 gigs per second of layer 7 throughput. That's pretty stout box. So there must still be a strong desire and need for these application delivery controllers.
Definitely.
Yeah, you find them everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Of course, they got some VM options as well. So that pretty much run on absolutely every hypervisor. So ESX to Zen server, even open source Zen, Hyper-V, KVM. No, they got everything checked off here. All the clouds.
Yeah, and for
Very
those
robust.
listeners that are like, how can I protect or see my full traffic on the public cloud? That is the way, putting a FortiGate and load balancing as well. If you need a load balancer with ADC, everything can be on the cloud.
Oh yeah,
so it's pretty neat.
All the way from the VM01 with 1 gig per second throughput on layer 4, all the way up to the VM32 that has capabilities of 24 gigs per second throughput.
Yep.
Yeah, that 32 model vCPU, 32 vCPUs it's capable of.
That 5,000 one is pretty big.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. That's a
big box.
2U. I think that's a 2U, 3U. A big box.
Yeah, it looks like a 2U. Yeah, 2U appliance capable of 250 gigs per second, layer 4 throughput. That's a lot of traffic. You got a pretty big fan base. You got that many people hitting your sites and services.
Well, I don't know. Did we talk about the 32F, the FortiGate, the big box right there?
No, we didn't dive into it at all.
Yeah, that one is a monster.
There's some of the specs on that guy.
I think it's
so that's one of the things too, right? That one still has the NP7 and the CP9 chips in there. So
yeah,
be able to handle that load as well. But the IPS is 63. Wow.
Oh yeah. What we're looking at here. Has 10 SFP56 interfaces, 25 SFP28s, 10 SFP pluses, and has 400 gig Ethernet capable QSFP DDs on it as well. So wow. Quite a box.
Yep, that was yeah, if you're trying to get you have something that needs a very heavy load, that's the way to go. And one of the things that I think they're trying to do is the photo carrier in there. It's an older it was made for more of the ISPs, right? And I think they're trying to integrate that with that, or they already did integration on it. And the internal storage is 2 terabytes. That is incredible.
Yeah, that is incredible. What's MSRP on that guy? You got the price sheet up.
Oh, you put me on the spot. Give me a second to look at that. 32, right?
3,200.
Yes.
So if we're gonna go with enterprise for 1 year, the whole bundle for it is enterprise MSRP. Sorry, is 231,250. That's for 1 year enterprise bundle. With the UTP is 212,500.
Nice.
So,
well, I mean, that's even at that price point though, and of course that's probably outside of a lot of people's needs. But it just shows that I think based on the capabilities on this price on the spec sheet here, that's still a pretty good bang for your buck, even at the MSRP price. So of course, working with somebody like XenTegra, we're able to help get those prices down, and customers are able to take advantage of our partnership with Fortinet. But again, that MSRP price, still even at that point, that's a lot of bang for the buck.
Yeah, it's incredible, especially with if you cannot support like a chassis level for a lot of the ISPs. This is a great option by being able to separate some of that traffic. So it's a pretty neat box that I imagine how big that is.
Yeah, two hard drives in it. I mean, that's a lot of stuff in it for just even a 2U. So like to your point there, it's like where you used to think you need a whole chassis solution to interface with that many options as far as the physical networking capabilities, and then to have that much processing capability in it as well. It's just it's pretty amazing. You know, everything gets faster, stronger, bigger in the physical layout of these technologies just keeps decreasing.
Yeah, and anybody listening, I mean, these boxes, I mean, if it doesn't fit on your budget, I mean, that's totally fine. We're not looking for that. Me personally, I'm looking for your best solution for your business and for your budget, if it can be able to work with that. But we're always here to support you and help you and get you the proper price as best as we can.
You got it. You got it. So it's Friday today, so it's been a long week. I guess everybody's kind of
2 weeks.
Yeah,
two long weeks.
Yeah, it's been 2 long weeks. Yeah, for sure. So I'm looking forward to sleeping in. I think my son gave me a little bit of his cold. It's a little hard to get up and going this morning. So hopefully I can have a relaxing evening tonight and wake up refreshed. But yeah, 2 long weeks, and then we're back at it starting Monday. And it looks like we got some upcoming events next week. So I'll be out in Louisville on Wednesday for one of the Bourbon and Blazers events that we have in
the 26th.
Yep. Kyle Mallory's put together for us, one of our client executives here at XenTegra. So you're a listener out in the Louisville, Kentucky area. I'm heading back to my birth town where I was born before we moved to Charlotte. And,
really?
Yeah.
I thought you were born in Charlotte. Oh, well, around North Carolina.
No, we moved to Charlotte when I was 6 years old. So.
Oh, wow. See, I learned something new.
Yeah, yes, you did.
Yeah, that's one of beauty ones, right? And then we have another one August 10th in Raleigh, there in North Carolina.
Yep, one of the blue plate lunches. So these are pretty successful, very quality presentations that we've been experiencing at these blue plate lunches, or blueprint lunches.
And for anybody who is in Canada, there's actually going to be Bourbons and Blazers at that day as well in Toronto. So if you guys don't know, XenTegra has a Canada and reopened up a new office. I think we did talk about it in a few episodes back, in India as well. So pretty excited. But the webinar, let's talk about that webinar coming up.
Oh yeah. So we have that on deck already.
Yeah, we're preparing to do webinars. We're going to try to do it once a month. So anybody who's interested, please reach out. We will be sending out some emails, some information on them. We're going to be talking about Fortinet related. I believe the first one is going to be going over the FortiOS. Pretty high level on the gate. I'll be doing some presentation showing how the fabric works, what is the FortiOS does, and how they all communicate. So it's going to be pretty nice. I'm excited. And we're going to be starting some fast tracks as well.
Yeah, looking forward to that for sure. So what we got, August 23rd is the date of that first webinar. Be around lunchtime.
I don't know. Man, you put me on the spot again.
No, it is. It is.
Man. I'm prepared today. So yeah, that's I'm excited. I'm putting the content together. I might have a co-host with me. I'm not too sure. But definitely I am going to be there doing this. And anybody who doesn't know about the fast track, a lot of people are getting confused with other vendors' fast tracks. What is another one they call fast track too, Chris? That everybody
Immersion, NSE immersion.
Oh, okay. Well, Fortinet has a fast track, and anybody who wants to get a lab 4 hours hands experience, reach out. We can set up. We can do it over online. We can go to y'all's office or location, and we can set up a lab for your team. If they want to learn about the gates, they want to learn about SIM, SOAR, whatever Fortinet product, we can definitely help you out with that. So if you really want to get that hands-on experience.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed, when Fortinet and Rebecca specifically came to the office this week. She's got the whole portfolio up there, kind of showing off the 54, 55 products that Fortinet has, and she's circling all the ones that Isrrael has in his lab environment. I was like, well, you got at least half of it. That's pretty awesome, because that quickly enables us to put together some kind of demo, to show customers how they would engage with these different technologies in the portfolio. Pretty impressive. So just about 20 more, and you'll be the FortiZen. You'll have it all, won't you?
FortiWizard.
FortiWizard.
There you go.
I don't know if nobody taking that name, the FortiWizard.
Oh yeah.
The hyphen in between Forti and Wizard can just be like a broomstick.
Oh yeah.
So definitely, Jacob, do you want to add anything? I know we didn't talk. I like to talk a lot. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. I generally just like to listen and contribute if I can, but I'm not as well versed in all the products as you both are. So it's just nice to listen and learn along with the audience in a way.
Yeah, one thing that I did learn about Jacob is becoming a guru with the Ekahau. So anybody who's looking to get an assessment of the Wi-Fi, we might have Jacob out there to get you an assessment.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Predictive analysis.
Awesome.
Yeah. Now, anybody at Ekahau listening, hey, please reach out. But yeah, it's pretty nice that Jacob is doing that, doing those heat maps and collecting that analytics of the APs.
Yep. So before you buy, we know exactly what models we need from the FortiAP stack. We know where to position them, and then how it's going to operate and how successful the coverage is going to be. So invaluable tool. So yeah, having that in your wheelhouse there, Jacob, is pretty awesome.
It's very insightful what the tools can show you when you're making the heat maps, and depending upon how much information you can get from the client, it makes all the difference.
Very much so.
Yeah, especially people coming back to the office, right?
Yep.
And they're gonna need that Wi-Fi. Nobody wants to go hardline anymore. Who uses desktops? So definitely everybody's now. So whenever I talk to clients and they're like looking for Wi-Fi's solution, I'm always asking. I typically will ask a user base number, and then I multiply by 3. And they're like, why 3? Well, if you think about it, laptop, phones, tablets, maybe they will add it to their watch. You never know. So there's plenty of things out there.
Oh yeah, there are. I think one of the things that shocked me the most was seeing one of the reports that you guys did in Chicago area, where the customer had, I think it was 400 some SSIDs that were broadcasting within their warehouse that they weren't in control of. So that's just showing the amount of traffic and congestion just outside of their walls alone. And it wasn't like they were in an apartment complex. I mean, they had 100 some yards away from the neighbor, their closest neighbor, that is. So everybody's getting these bigger radios, throwing more power into them. They're broadcasting further, and those channels and everything that all work together. You got to kind of know your lane and who you're playing with out here in the wireless world. To really kind of fine tune it and tweak it for optimization. I think the Ekahau is it's invaluable. So yeah, definitely reach out to us. we got a package together. We can send Jacob out on site and he'll check it out for you. And just the feedback's just been remarkable that we've received thus far.
And if you guys do see Jacob, no, he is old enough. I just saw today, right now, he put his webcam and I'm looking at him. I'm like, dude, how old are you? He looks pretty young, but I mean, that's a great thing. I wish I could look that young.
We'll give him a little gray hair before too long, and it'll help play out, even things out for him.
So, I appreciate it, Jacob, joining us.
Yeah.
Sorry, we really didn't talk about too much of your specialty on the Wi-Fi, but I mean, I love Forti Wi-Fi.
Definitely.
The FortiAPs, I love them.
Oh yeah.
But that's it for me, Chris.
Yeah, me as well. So when's the next one? We're gonna record one next week as well.
Yeah, that's on the map, right? If you guys, anybody out there has some ideas, please shoot it over to us. We'll be happy to talk about it. And if you have any ideas on webinars or would like to see us in a webinar, please shoot us out there a note. I think, Chris, are we working on a email alias as well?
Yeah, we are. So I'll share that. We can share that on the next one. It's on my task list today.
Yeah, to make it a little bit easier, right? But if not, guys, you guys have our names. Please reach out to us in LinkedIn. Our email address, is my first and Isrrael.Quintero@XenTegra.com. Same thing with Chris.Doran.com, XenTegra.com. So, yeah, guys, just reach out.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much for joining today. Jacob, Isrrael, as always, a fun conversation. We'll get this up on the internet, share it on out. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend.
You too.
Likewise.
Later, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you soon.